because I'm not gonna lie, unhinged Bill Paxton was kind of fun.
Brothers, sisters, gender resistors. We're drinking today, baby.
Oh boy!
Oh damn!
Welcome.
Oh, he got that liquid death. Oh yeah, that a boy.
Listen,
when he said he was drinking, I thought he meant like boozing.
No, I don't booze. You know that. No, this is the hard stuff, baby.
That's why I was unsure.
I was on Liquid Death's dick kind of in the big, like when they first like started doing their big like media push and stuff.
Yeah.
And I drank. I was like, oh, it's just water in a can. And then I just kept buying it. I don't really know why, but now I just genuinely like it. And so
I've had it. It's not bad. I mean, yeah,
it's fine.
It's water. It's filtered water, which okay, cool. Fine.
Yeah, it's
water.
Much better spring water than most spring waters. So that's what I like about it. Their flavored stuff is really good.
Yeah.
The like seltzery stuff that they have. And they have iced tea now. The iced tea is really good too. They sweeten it with just a little agave.
Well, fun. Very, very fun.
There
was no sweetened iced tea in this movie we watched.
Are you sure? I don't know what she was drinking out of. I don't know what everybody else was drinking out of their cups.
It was coffee.
Are you sure? Could have been. Could have been sweet tea.
I mean, it's possible. Anyway,
we watched Aliens. Brothers, sisters, gender resistors. Welcome to another arousing episode, because Ron's here, of the Comic Book Rundown presents Rundown Reviews. Of course, I am the man that is just so lucky all the time. Well, 99% of the time to do these intros. I am Chuck. And
you did just kind of take it upon yourself to start doing the intros, and I just never stopped you because I love hearing your voice, Chuck.
Okay. I can say that. That's okay. Anyway, fucking Joe's here and Ron's here. We watched Aliens.
Yep, Aliens.
Yeah, because there was more than one this time.
There was I believe the correct measurement was 1 entire metric ass ton of aliens.
One would say there was a ship ton, if you will.
I see what you did there. How do we boot Joey off this?
You never gave us the power.
Yeah, I was going to. You're like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, that's why.
Show would go to shit then for sure.
Yes,
yeah. So we watched Aliens right off the bat. Let's just get it out of the way. Not a horror movie.
Nope,
not a horror movie.
There were some horror elements.
There were jump scares, and that's about it.
Sure, and that's it. I mean, but this definitely is more action-y than horror.
Yeah, suspense thriller, maybe like action suspense thriller,
maybe.
Yeah,
I accept thriller.
But again, not a bad thing. Like this was good. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I like this way better than the first time I watched it. So Joey, you said you've never seen this before?
First time viewing for me.
Okay.
My neighbor, just up the road here, huge Aliens fan. This is probably his favorite.
He actually he worked on the Flash movie, and
why? Who says it's
he did the Alien Snyder cut? A lot of people don't know that about it.
Could be a different neighbor. You don't know.
So what neighbor is it, Jeff?
I talked to more neighbors than just him.
Do you?
Yeah, but they're all old and.
But was it not? Was it him?
That's not the point.
Anyways, you have a neighbor that's a really big Aliens fan.
He really, really loves this movie. He actually loves this movie more than the first Alien. Actually, more than Terminator. And I've got to make a correction, and I think I said it in the Alien episode we talked about. Alien was done by Ridley Scott, not James Cameron. I think I said that I thought James Cameron did the first one, or whoever is my word.
How dare you ruin the integrity of this show by getting information wrong?
I mean,
and then apologizing that you got it wrong and correcting yourself.
But
how fucking dare you?
It's my own verbiage that got it wrong, and I'm apologizing for my own wrongness.
How dare you correct yourself? We don't correct ourselves on this show. Whatever
everything just becomes canon
until they correct it in the comments.
Nobody comments on our stuff. Are you kidding me?
I know,
exactly. So we're always right, and everything we say is canon.
Anyway,
thank you, Ronald.
Regardless,
I'm just gonna start this. I'm just gonna start this movie off by saying "fuck corporations."
Well, yeah.
This is one gigantic satire of like privatized military, privatized corporation, capitalism.
Yeah.
Even in the 80s, they fucking figured it out, huh?
Yeah.
What was this? 81?
86.
86. Wow, this looked terrible for 86.
The first one was in
about 79.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's a long time. That's a long time for a sequel. Interesting.
Well, and
maybe because I'm used to having a sequel like within a year of each other, but
now we get a sequel normally from a direct sequel 2 years after. Like Star Wars is a perfect example where we got it 3 years after for each of them, and even during the prequels, they were 3 years. Then the sequels were, I mean, we had the actual sequels 2 years with those Star Wars stories in between. But anymore it's usually about 2-ish years. Although now that I think about it, like we've got Deadpool and Wolverine that just came out at the time of release, not time of recording. And that was what, 5 years? Like Deadpool 2 came out 2020 or something like that.
To be fair, there was a lot of selling going on that nobody really understood what was happening. So
not true. But yeah, so like 7 years for this moment isn't terrible because I think 3 came out in early 90s.
Sounds about right.
That's like
91 or something.
That's another 5 years.
All right.
Here's like a look at my list.
Just making some commentary. Jesus.
I'm just saying. What?
You want to hear something really crazy though?
No, it's really how cool Burke is for sitting on his chair backwards. Nothing says an 80s movie like authority figures reversing their chair backwards and sitting on it.
Yeah, that's how you know that they're attentive and they want to just be like you. They have a corporate job, but they're just like you.
They know exactly what you're going.
No, see, the chair in front of them is because they're a corporate figure, so they know that you're going to try to stab them, and that way there's a chair between them and you.
Oh, that's true.
That works. Yeah.
So does this actually take place like 56 years later or whatever from the first movie?
57.
Did we ever get an actual dates on here?
Well, he said that she'd been drifting around for like 57 years or some shit like that.
Yeah, he said that, but we never, like in the first one, I think we actually had a date, but they never actually said a date here. They just said,
it was like 2072 or something like that. Or
did they say that?
Okay. No, I think in the first one it was like 2072 or some shit like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just curious because the reveal of it being like 57 years later was also wrapped into the like dream sequence. So I wasn't sure if that was actually real or not, or just part of her dream.
Gotcha. Yeah, but they said it again when she's sitting there in the room with the corporate guys, and they're trying to pin the $42 million adjusted dollars for losing the
right.
I mean, but if you think about it, in that time, like in 2136 or whatever it would have been, like that's not that much money, really. I mean,
it really but I also don't think it really was that expensive. They were just trying to make Ripley feel bad,
which didn't work.
Like $100,000, but they're like, there's a bunch of other things that we lost, so we're just gonna pile it in on this. It's all
right. As corporations do, trickle down economics of people being in trouble. The shit rolls downhill onto you. And it's, if you need somebody to do something, Reagan. The best way to do it is to guilt trip them by reminding them how much you've cost the company money. Shout out to Sodexo specifically, you know what I mean?
And did it ever bother you, Chuck?
After a while, I got a little fucking old, but then I left. So.
That's fair.
It's one of those things.
See, when I cost my company money, I just never let it bother me.
No. Me costing them money never bothered me. them giving me shit about the fact that I've cost them money, despite the fact that 60% of the events that would go out of my department were giveaways for some fucking reason that we did under the table. Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Sounds like money laundering, if you ask me.
Dude, I remembered when I first started
politics.
at
That's what I was always told.
Very much. When I started at GM, they were like, if the product that you have breaks, like that's gonna come out of your paycheck. And I'm like, I mean, don't see why, but I feel that was the bosses being like trying to say be careful. The rest of the actual team members were like, no, shit breaks all the time. You're fine. And now it's like, yeah, no, it's like shit breaks all the time. Usually anymore, like I'll break something and I'll be like, hey, it was shipped to us like this. Here you go. And they just charge it back to the shit.
Yeah. I figure we got another 7 months of like, yeah, sorry, supply chains are real fucking everything up. So,
I mean, I work in the auto industry. The supply chain's always shitty.
Yeah. Oh man, good times.
Yeah.
Speaking of supply chains, so they ship them off to this fucking planet to coax her into doing it, right? Like they're like, hey, and she's like, no, I don't want to fucking do it. And then she's just like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna do it.
Well, she has that nightmare again of, I guess, the chest burster coming out of her chest, and that entices her finally to be like, you're going there to kill them,
I think
right?
it's her. Yeah, it's her need to confront them to show that she's not scared of them anymore, even though she's absolutely pissed pants terrified of them.
Yeah, petrified of them.
But I mean, with good reason.
Like, she went.
Yeah,
honestly, it's a good thing she did. Because Burke would have just brought back those face huggers and been like,
yep.
Whoops.
Yeah. I really hate that dude's face.
Paul Reiser.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he always seems like he plays a douche.
I mean, for whatever reason, I get mad about you. So, I'm sorry. The puns are just all over the place today.
But we did get to welcome back 3 people from the Terminator. Reese was there.
Yep.
The punk that they stole or that he killed was there, and so was the detective.
Oh yeah.
Bishop was the detective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lance Hendrickson.
Shout out to Bishop having the shitty job out of all of them, which is Wrangler. Man, there's nothing worse than having to be the wrangler of a bunch of fucking douchebags who want to die. And your job is to make sure that the people who want to die don't die. And they're too stupid to realize that they're going to die anyway. Yeah, man. That's a fucking miserable job. Shout out to Bishop. He tries his goddamn best.
He did awesome. I really enjoyed his character in this one. And because it's the first time I saw it, the scene when the one Marine is talking to him as he's dissecting that face hugger, I'm like, just the way he looked, the way he was acting there, it made me think that he was going to be the antagonist, similar to how Ash was in the first one. Like the android is the bad guy.
Yeah, I kind of thought that's what they were going with. Like, I thought they were just like, oh, it's like, don't trust corporations, don't trust computers.
Yeah.
Was like the story that they were trying to go for. And I still don't know if I totally trusted him. Like,
I mean, that's fair.
In the long term, he just, like, he does kind of fucking bounce for a little bit, but then had the excuse of, oh, I had to bring it around because they were telling me I had to move. You know, like when you park in like a loading zone and then there's like, hey, you gotta fucking move. So you just start doing laps around the building until like the person you're waiting for comes out.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that was like the thing he had to do.
Very fun. But yeah, no. But speaking of the ship itself, you know, we just talked about having to move the ship. That was the same ship from Terminator, right? Like that was the exact same design that the Terminators used for the ships, right?
I don't know. I didn't pay that close attention, but
it looked very like it.
I did notice that the ship did move faster than the original ship, at least.
Well, it's a different ship.
I know. I meant like from the first movie. You know, like they're the bad like
the drop ship. Oh yeah. Well, again, it's been 7 years. The graphics are definitely better.
Fair.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the ship actually looked like. But yeah, you might be right.
I just like the Y or the wings in the back.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know why my hands are going all weird, Ving out like that, and then like the front of it. It just looked very similar. And I just chalked it up to Cameron being lazy and using the same model.
So speaking of the ships, though, when they get the first dropship go down, and they leave the fucking gate down for the first dropship, even though they know that like there are these things everywhere,
They don't know it's there,
but they did.
They
knew it was there. They knew it was there before that one climbed into the ship.
See, and that's what I was going to ask, because we don't ever get. I didn't know that thing was there. Like, it just all of a sudden, because they're back on, like, away from the rest of the group, who were.
But they're still on planet.
They're on the planet, yeah. But
they're at the original drop point, and then they went through a whole different area.
Yeah,
so you're saying that the alien, that the xenomorph, a random xenomorph just came into the ship?
Yeah, no, see, what happened was the xenomorphs are way smarter than we give them credit for, and they knew exactly where they were going to park that ship. So he was just like, I'm just going to wait here until that guy's not paying any attention. Also, why the fuck was that dude off the ship at all?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't seem, to me, it just seemed really weird that a xenomorph just showed up on the ship. And there was like no explanation.
I agree.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, does it not make sense that you're flying directly onto a planet that we're pretty sure the whole reason why we've lost communication with the people that were there are because of these things that we know that we're supposed to be looking for? So wouldn't you not only exit everybody off the ship so there was nobody to hang back with it just in case something happened, but you would leave the gate down because, you know, you got to leave the keys in the ignition for a quick getaway. So, and if you put the door up, then you've locked yourself out. Then you got to call AAA, and it's like, fucking, that takes forever. They can't find you half the time. No, it was stupid. Speaking of AAA and stupid vehicles,
okay.
the Batmobile drop off. First off, that thing just like launches out out of nowhere, and then it is luckily a straight shot right to wherever they were driving to.
Yeah,
because there was no fucking way in hell that thing was going to make any sort of turn.
But then
because when Ripley's driving it,
didn't have
when
one
Ripley is driving it. When Ripley's driving it, she is going around corners left and fucking right, until she wrecks, and then she can't seem to steer it at all. And my real big question here, though, she hit.
Oh well, I was going to bring up. You stopped talking. I was just going to let you talk, but I was going to bring up that there is actually a connection to Batman here, because the alien nest set was kept intact after filming. It was later used as the Axis chemical set for Batman in 1989. When the Batman crew first entered the set, they found most of the alien nest still intact. So I just want to point that out.
But what I was going to say was, she ran over the xenomorph with the vehicle, right? Splattered blood everywhere, but it didn't eat through the tires and the armor.
I think it did, though, because when she got out, not Reese, what's his name?
Hudson
was Paxton.
Yeah. I thought you were saying not Reese, is not the one that was played by Reese.
No, I just couldn't remember his name.
Okay.
He told her that she had snapped or something had broken, so that they need to basically stop. I think the acid did probably eat away at the axle, I guess, for the wheel.
The transaxle is what he said.
Transaxle? Okay.
Yeah, because it's definitely the acid and not the extremely rocky, very sharp, pointy terrain driving a vehicle that has zero ability to drive off.
Why not both?
Yeah, well, that's true. The acid had to weaken it, I guess.
Yeah. Also, so again, they're smoking inside of an enclosed area because 57 years of cancer hasn't taught him anything.
Well, they were asleep for 7 years. Anyway.
And when they are getting ready, like on the main ship to load up the drop ship, they cock and load every weapon in there, which means that every weapon in there was ready to fire, whether they fell over, whether, somebody went to grab one and accidentally hit the trigger, whether, whatever happened, whether that little girl that they find, I mean, gun safety, guys, come on.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. Like, not saying you can't load it, but
they actually cocked the gun.
It. Yeah, like
because it looks fucking cool. That's why they don't give a shit about safety. All they care about is killing stuff and looking fucking cool. Which, like,
are you talking about Drake and Vasquez or whatever?
Yeah,
very specifically, those two were like fucking gun boners walking.
Yeah.
So stereotypical, like 80s trope characters too. Like, oh, this one was she supposed to be
Mexican, I believe.
Mexican or Puerto Rican? I wasn't totally sure.
They made an illegal alien joke, so I wasn't sure which.
Right. Definitely not of the United States, I guess, or something. Despite the fact that, aren't they all technically like illegal aliens at this point? Because they're going to a different planet, and I'm sure they don't have papers.
I mean, so they joined the military, so the military just kind of whitewashes that.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, I said that.
Oh, can't imagine how that would work. Right? Okay. Anyway, so just like, a lot of illegal alien jokes directly at her.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Chuck, I have to say that I really hate that you watched Popeye.
Why?
Because you keep saying things weird ever since we watched it.
Oh, directly? No, that is a Rock reference. Actually, he regularly would tell people that they could check their ass directly into the SmackDown hotel. It's just my favorite way of saying it now. Because somebody pointed, the glass break moment, and then it's like you can't ever unhear it. Yeah. Directly.
That's fair.
Emp. I mean, that's why we say emp, Ron.
Yeah. Emp grenades. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I like that. Directly.
Yeah. So we had talked about Bill Paxton earlier. So according to him, I had mentioned that he improvised a lot of his lines, which included "Game over, man, game over," and "We're on an express elevator to hell going down." So yeah, those were two. I mean, I think a lot more were improvised, but
Hudson was a little bitch, though. Let's be honest.
I enjoyed unhinged Bill Paxton. Like, that was fun.
I didn't mind it for a little bit, but I wish they would have given him a lot less screen time for the antics of being psychotic, because it was grating towards the end of the movie.
But Ron, he was only 2 days away from retirement. I mean, it was 4 weeks, but he was 2 days away from retirement. Is that one of our tropes? Because I think that should be one of our tropes.
That's an 80s movie trope. I don't think that's a comic movie trope.
Well, it is kind of interesting because, like, people rave about Bill Paxton and specifically quote this movie, like, use this movie as a reference, and they only ever quote the, like, "Game over, man, game over" as, like, the thing that makes Bill Paxton really cool, and, like, they completely forgot about him in the rest of this movie, where he is borderline insufferable towards the end.
Yeah,
of it. Like, he like, I get it, dude. I get it. You gotta fucking calm down. You gotta chill a little bit, because that's why you get yourself fucking killed, because you're losing your goddamn mind. I also, okay, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. They walk into the building, and Ripley realizes that, like, if they shoot their guns off, this whole fucking planet's gonna blow. At least the building is gonna blow up.
Yeah, because the people were next to reactors, thermonuclear reactors.
Yeah, the thermal coolers.
Thank you, thermal coolers.
Right, which was giving off, like, something that if the gunfire happened would just blow up.
Yeah,
they could use flamethrowers, though. That's okay.
So it was okay. It's because the 10mm rounds they were using in there were electromagnetic or something, and they shot out of the gun at higher rates than they should. And it was that was going to cause the problem, not the actual boom.
Okay, so we got 2 flamers. That's it.
Yeah.
But we also got everybody else who turned in their ammo and then pulled out a second gun.
Everybody turned their ammo in. Then that poor fucking guy in the back has to now be the pack mule and carry everybody's fucking ammo.
Yeah.
Which made no sense. Poor man.
I think he was the only one with the pack.
Proceed to open fire the second this thing shows up. Multiple of them show up. Because they definitely surround them like the Jets surrounding a shark in West Side Story, just like slapping their hands together, like, oh, you're gonna fucking do it now. And it's just like open fire, and the place doesn't even blow up.
Yeah.
So what's the point? What's the point?
But that I believe that's what causes the flares, though, that Bishop points out later on, where he's like, yeah, those say that we only have 30 minutes or whatever until this whole place blows up.
See, I thought they were just really good shots and actually hit somebody or Xenomorph.
Oh, we know better than that. We watched them shoot.
I know.
The only person that's a good shot is Ripley, that's never used a gun before.
Did she not use the gun last movie?
No, there was no gun.
No, they had a flamethrower. That's right.
Yeah.
And she didn't even use that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
The other guy did.
Well, I take that back. She used the harpoon gun.
Oh, yeah, but she did technically use a harpoon gun, yeah.
When you're like 5 feet away and firing at a giant target.
Speaking of Ripley and the guns, so I don't know how their guns work, but the way that she taped those guns together and strapped them together, she would have been stopping like slides and all the other shit that you have to use to like make a gun work.
Yeah, well, but these are future guns, so
okay. But also, why did she wait till she was in the elevator to load the grenades into the gun?
Because she only had 15 minutes to get in and get out, maybe.
Okay. I guess, I don't know. And then my other question is, she knows how elevators work. Why didn't she put something in the elevator door so that the door didn't shut, so that she could get back to the elevator without having to wait for it?
Because drama. I don't know.
Because if you hold the door open long enough, then an alarm goes off, and then the door just stays open and doesn't close when you need it to. That's why they never want you to hold elevator doors.
Also, so after they have the whole thing with the ammo, where they're like, okay, we've only got 50 rounds per gun, right?
Yeah, you know what they said. Okay.
Yeah. Vasquez ends up shooting off like 250 rounds from her gun without ever reloading, or
is that when they're running away, or is that in the initial attack?
No, this is afterwards. This is after they say, oh, we've got a limited amount of ammo and everybody's only got X amount of shots.
Okay.
And then she just proceeds to shoot as many bullets as they can make a pew pew noise with.
I don't know.
Good question. And again, this has nothing to. Why doesn't anybody listen to Ripley?
Because she's a woman in the 80s.
Oh, I guess that's fair. I didn't think about that, Chuck. Never mind.
Not only a woman in the 80s, but a short-haired, possibly lesbian woman. So nobody really listens to her.
With a huge bush. Oh.
Yeah, not as attractive to me in this one as she is in the first one. I think it's specifically that hairstyle, but I don't know what it was about it. This is the outfit that I feel is more iconic. Just like the jumpsuit stuff.
Yeah.
And the forklift machine suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mech battle at the end was great. You had the chest burster, which uses the xenomorph as a mech versus her and her mech suit.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I do want to ask though, there are multiple times in this movie where they are welding something together and nobody's wearing any protection, eye protection?
Oh, that's because they have the little screen that sits in front of it, and that's what protects their eyes.
Oh,
yeah.
Now everybody else, that's why Ripley tells the little girl to look away. But speaking of Ripley, can we just say that she officially has superhuman strength because she has got to have the strongest upper body strength of anybody in the universe? Not only is the vacuum of space pulling against her, but she's also got the queen xenomorph hanging off of her leg.
Yeah, the fact that the queen did not rip her leg off,
or her shoulders out of socket, or
you are like
wasn't that thing like 4 times her size?
Yeah,
damn near.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It was so big that apparently the crew could not actually get the costume into the elevator when they were trying to film that scene. Yeah,
that's about right. I did think the queen looked cool.
The queen looked amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is weird because like she was able to use the elevator is weird, but you know, fine.
Yeah, I realized I don't think I really like xenomorphs. I don't like how they look. I don't know what it is specifically.
Because they look like people in costumes.
They are so they haven't technically eaten a dog yet.
Okay.
So
we're getting close to that.
Right. I believe that's the whole thing is like they only take on the stuff that they've like impregnated or like whatever. So like that's how they like develop and evolve. And at some point they like do it with a dog or something. That's when they start like running on all fours.
Phrasing, bud?
No, I know. I'm pretty sure that's what I meant. So
interesting.
They puke humans to the wall, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Some sort of secretion. I'm gonna go with puke on this one. Could be something else. Who knows?
I mean,
maybe
it could
that's
be.
How they. Yeah, maybe that's actually how the face huggers are born. You know what I mean? They just like jizz it out or something. I don't know.
I mean, we already have androids full of jizz, so that makes sense.
That's what is that? That's so fucking weird.
It's that cum lubricant that they use for the fake dildos.
Oh yes, the octo somethings. I forget what they're called. Yes. Yeah. It's shout out to those things. Cost me $70 at a hotel. That deleted show.
Ovipositor is what you're thinking of.
Yes, thank you. I knew it'd come to me. Yeah, anyway, so I didn't really get the whole they farm the bodies. So they farm the bodies, they put them on walls to put chest busters in them.
Yeah.
So they put them on the wall so that the face hugger eggs, when they hatch, they immediately latch on to a person, to whatever being is there. Right. And then the chest burster will burst out when it's gestated enough.
But then they can't reuse the body.
But they don't need to.
I know. It's just interesting. It's just interesting that they essentially then they have just a gross decaying body chilling there.
Also, do the xenomorphs not eat?
I was wondering if they eat the people, like because we had the in the first one they never found bodies for every single crew member that Ripley lost. So I'm assuming that xenomorph just ate them. Like we also never saw any of the other Marines or Burke. Like I was also kind of interested in the xenomorph that attacked Burke, why it was foaming at both of its mouths. That was a little weird. But like we never saw his body. He wasn't put up on the wall that we are aware of. So
or maybe he was, and maybe we just didn't see it because they didn't give a shit about Burke.
Very possible. But maybe they just eat human flesh, or maybe they just eat flesh of their victim. I don't know.
Maybe they just don't have to eat often.
Maybe
like a snake only has to eat like 20 every 20 days or something like that.
It's possible. Also possible.
I had a friend who had a snake, and she would keep dead frozen mice in her freezer next
Yep.
to her ice cream. It was really fucking weird. It's like you
Tasty.
don't have it. Yeah, it was just like a Tupperware dish full of dead mice.
I mean, at least did she like put it in the shape of a popsicle and then really get confused?
I did. I didn't realize because she also had the ice cream in a Tupperware container.
Oh shit!
And she was like, she used to make her own ice cream, and I'm like, these look identical. Do you confuse these? Like, she's like, I one time put ice cream accidentally in the mouse container, and I was like,
yeah.
And so I never ate ice cream at her house again.
yeah, I never fucking. I don't hang out with her anymore. She was, but fucking, like, she would have people come over when it was feeding day, so everybody could watch the snake eat like the mice, and I'm just like, this is weird. Why are y'all hyped about this? This is fucking gross. The thing was huge too. It was a fucking like python. It was fucking terrifying. Yeah,
breaks out and chokes somebody.
yeah.
I think the last little note I have here is Michael Bean Hicks. Apparently, he really likes strong women because he had that fascination with Sarah Connor in Terminator, and he's just staring at Ripley the entire movie. Like, basically.
Yeah, he is a little bit of a creepo in this movie.
I thought he was a creepo more in the last one.
Well, yeah, that's true because he didn't fall in love from a photo.
Yeah,
that he was gooning over on a regular basis. Just learned what the term gooning means. So, been using it wrong for a while now. So it's
no. See, Chuck, you got to remember though, if we use them wrongly enough, they'll start using it that way. Like I call raw dogging when people don't have shoes and socks on and they're walking around barefoot. So,
oh, that's super fair. I use the term hot dogging a lot. What are you doing over there, hot dogging? Which is my it usually just means you're goofing around when you're hot dogging over there. I believe the actual term of hot dogging is like you're like playing it up or something like that. I don't remember. But no, I have been using gooning as like somebody who like think guy. You know what I mean? Like someone gives you like a mean face, like a face. Okay. So I used to like a goon. You know, like a goon to a villain. Yeah. That's what I thought it was for like a long time. So I would just say to my students, "What are you gooning me for?" And now I have found out I can't say that to my students anymore.
What does it mean, Jack?
Gooning is kind of like edging, but like for incels. So yeah.
Okay.
Now why they would look at me really weird. I'd be like, "What are you gooning at me for?" The fact that I still have a job is kind of amazing, actually.
Obviously, your students love you enough to not turn you in.
Your students just think that you're a boomer. That's
yeah, that's super true. No, it's all because Ron left a 5-star review on my Rate My Teacher, so that's why they like me so much.
You're welcome. Best teacher I never had.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Every once in a while, people are like, "Chef, what's the Elite Eight Showdown?" Don't you fucking worry about that. You shut the fuck up.
So what you're saying is time for another
don't you
review.
Dude.
I mean, look, if you're going to do that, send them this way and have them get some...
do some kind of rundown. Actually, I would like it if people just started leaving 5-star reviews for any podcast on my Rate My Teacher, just so people don't get the joke anymore. Oh my god, that'd be so fun.
Be great.
Wow, he has a really high Rate My Professor review. Oh, he must be really fun to be in class with.
I was on a podcast last night.
Yeah, you were.
And accidentally flashed my dick to the entire bar.
Accidentally?
I was wearing my kilt, and we were sitting up on the stage. So you know, like the stage at the ruin.
Accidentally, got it.
Yeah. So I was just sitting there. So I was sitting there talking, right? And I sat down like with my legs like this, and then as I was talking, I just kind of, like I was relaxing, so I moved my legs. And normally the pouch that I have on the front of my kilt will like hold the flap down
as it should and is supposed to do.
But so one of the people on the podcast walked over and she whispers in my ear, she's like, "Hey, you're flashing everybody in the bar." And I'm like, "Oh, apparently my dick's out," and like. It was a good time though.
At least you leaned into it. That's good. I think it's just common acknowledgement that if somebody wears a kilt in public, they and everyone around them knows they're going to see that person's dick at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like we've just accepted that. Yeah. So, what are you gonna do? You know,
I like to wear mine in the traditional fashion. I can't help it.
You do.
See, it feels like it kind of defeats the purpose otherwise, right? Isn't like the whole point
exactly?
Is that supposed to be cooling?
I mean, dude, I'll tell you what. There was a nice breeze up there the whole night. It was fantastic.
Love that for you, buddy.
So, getting back to the movie.
Oh yeah, I don't have any more notes.
Yeah,
why?
Because we're about done. That's why.
Because Joey's about to finish.
Anyway, my last note is that this is a fun little Star Wars tie-in. That Frost has a bad feeling. Because that's all I got.
Oh yeah, stay frosty, everybody. So stay frosty. Game Over Man. Like Game Over Man, I knew came from this.
Yes.
I didn't know Stay Frosty came from this.
I feel like that's just not a common phrase, but something that was said a lot back then.
If it was, I wonder if it was because of this movie, because they say it a fucking lot. Like because like I felt like they were trying to get the catchphrase over almost. It was excessive use. What was the other? There was another one. Oh, there's just like a lot of like iconic looking, like a lot of iconic stuff in this movie that I was just like, oh, this is like what pop culture is referencing a lot of. Just like the look and stuff like that. It's just interesting. I guess because I never saw this movie when it came out because I wasn't born yet, and and I never really saw it till a few years ago. I don't think I really realized just how significant this movie was. Like this was a pretty significant like achievement for a movie.
Yes.
Yeah, we are hitting the kind of like blockbuster era like of movies.
Funny enough, you say that this was a very important movie. When Fox execs saw an early cut of this film, they complained to producer Gail Ann Hurd that looked like the money had all been spent on sets rather than special effects. Hurd took great delight in telling the execs that a majority of the sets that they were seeing in the film were indeed miniatures or optical effects, i.e. special effects. The artists behind these images were very pleased that their work had fooled the money men. So this is a very influential movie. Like this is in the time, 70s and 80s are some of the only movies where the practical effects still hold up to this day.
Yeah.
There are some problems with some of the special effects. This one is no exception. Similar to the alien running at Ripley in the last one, there's a scene here where I think they're trying to close a door, and similar situation where the alien, the stop motion. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of Terminator,
right?
Which was just 2 years before. So, it's that still that stop motion special effects was there, but it wasn't as bad as it was in Terminator. And like we said, like we acknowledge that the Terminator one, and I can acknowledge that the one here still works for the movie.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I think all the like practical effects look like still hold up.
Yeah,
I feel like there's something to be said, and maybe it's just because I'm slowly becoming I'm not becoming a Muppet fan specifically, but I am appreciative of Jim Henson's work a lot, and that like the real big giant puppets forever will look awesome because you can hide a lot of like that stuff with like a really big puppet and like shooting it just right. Like the Queen looks pretty awesome when it's like kind of just the head and the arms and like a torso and like that kind of movement and stuff looked really, really good. The elevator not so much, obviously, but that was because they were trying to shoot more of it. Yeah. I thought the Xenomorphs looked cool when it was like kind of zoomed up and it was like they're really focusing on the parts that moved. But then, when they're like Brazzers.com Sharks versus Jets gangbang about to happen. They just look like dudes in suits, and it looks not great.
Yeah.
So I'm very scared for the following movies because I've heard it only goes downhill from here.
Same. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen 3.
neither have I.
Weirdly enough, isn't there another one called like Requiem or something like that?
There's Resurrection.
Resurrection, that's what it is.
There might be an Alien Requiem.
So
I think that sounds familiar.
No, I think that's
the Alien vs. Predator.
Requiem. Yeah.
So I always think that Resurrection is the third movie, and that's the one I've heard is like the thing that killed the franchise.
Yeah. Resurrection is the fourth movie.
Right. I always forget that there's an Alien 3.
The only reason why I know there's an Aliens 3 is because I had a video game for it for my Sega Genesis. The game was pretty badass.
Is it Alien 3 or Aliens 3?
I don't know.
I'm just curious. If it's Aliens, shouldn't it be Aliens 2? Because there was an Aliens 1, and there's Alien.
I don't know.
It's Alien 3.
There you go.
So we're back to 1.
Well,
we're back to 1 alien.
Technically, it should be Alien 2. Is what?
Correct. Yes, it should technically be Alien 2, just to really make it confusing for everybody. Yes, I like that.
They should have just called it More Aliens.
That's true. Yes.
Too Fast, Too Alien. There we go.
I guess it would be. Oh, it was like Fast Furious. Maybe it should be Alien. They just throw a hyphen in there for no goddamn reason.
Why not?
Too fast. Too
That's all I've got.
That's all I got.
Okay. So,
actually, I genuinely did like this movie, but
it wasn't bad.
Yeah. I think that's why I don't have a lot of notes. I actually sat and watched it.
It was a little long for my tastes, but like...
Well, it's only... I mean, so there is a director's cut of this movie.
Oh, God, why? Okay.
The director's cut apparently is only 17 minutes longer. Yeah. So it's like a 2.5-hour movie.
Do we get movies?
I don't think so. I honestly don't know. Again, I didn't watch it, so that's not what was on Hulu. Here we go. The special edition includes 17 minutes of extra scenes. Ripley discussing her daughter with Burke, because apparently she has a daughter, whom would be maybe dead by that point in time. I don't know. Ripley is demoted by the board. Newt's parents discovering the abandoned alien ship on the planet. A tour through the Soloka prior to the Marines waking up.
Is that the part? Is that the part that the lizard pees out of?
Sure. Koyaka. Hudson bragging about his weaponry. Ripley hesitates before she enters the colony complex on the planet. Robot sentry guns repelling 2 alien raids. The Marines theorizing about an alien leader as the source of the eggs. And Hicks and Ripley in exchanging first names.
So we didn't really lose anything.
Outside of maybe seeing the colonists finding the alien colony. Like I could kind of been cool to see.
They don't really ever explain the space travel aspect of these things. Like how are they getting from like a planet to a planet?
Well, this is the same planet they landed on the first one where they found it.
Yep. Right. But like they still don't explain how it got there. I guess that's what Prometheus is, but
allegedly, Prometheus and Covenant, and now Romulus when that comes out, because apparently that's also a prequel.
It looks good. Did you watch a trailer?
I have not, because I haven't seen the other ones. So
me neither.
It looks like a hard reset. It looks like they're going back to the original. The trailer shows a lot of face hugger action.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's almost like they're trying to like relaunch the franchise from the ground up,
similar to kind of what like Prey was almost.
Yeah.
While it's still connected to the universe, but it's a soft reboot, if you will.
Yeah. Looks pretty.
Prey was awesome.
Prey was
It was
great.
so fucking good.
That is on our list. It's going to
Hell
be
yeah.
a while before we get to it, but it is on our list.
It's very good.
I'll
be excited.
So what's our kill count there, Joey?
Had a kill count of 48, and a few of those were like the grenades going off, so that's only one kill. When Ripley took the flamethrower to all the eggs, that was only one attack.
Good. You're learning.
Good job. Are we sure though? Because, like you say, this is a tie-in to Batman, as we all know. Are we sure that anyone was actually killed, or were the Xenomorphs just putting everybody to sleep?
I mean, technically, the Xenomorphs were putting people to sleep until they burst out of their chests.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Ooh, does it count? Does birth count as a kill?
Oh, yes.
I was going to say, like, Ripley is definitely very abortion heavy in this one. She is killing all these fetuses. Before they
she does not care.
She is making the choice for them.
Yes.
There was a part of me, because they do, and I wonder if we'll see it in later movies. There's a part of me that kind of thought maybe Bishop would have one bust out of his chest, and like, because their whole thing is they adapt and like evolve and stuff, that they end up making some type of like robot version,
like
where
Jason X style.
Yeah, like,
dude, that'd be badass.
Dude, it's just like robot, like alien, like it's like it's such a it's tied back into Terminator, because like Terminator Genesis has like the nanotechnology where it becomes all like human and robot become one. This is like Xenomorph and robot become one. That would be fucking cool.
I mean, maybe there's something out there.
Yeah,
maybe
it's probably in Resurrection. That's probably what happens in Resurrection. And everybody
you just pitched it, so it's gonna happen.
TM, right?
Yeah, it'd be awful if I put that into like an AI bot and had it print out a script for me.
Dude, look,
we read it on the Patreon.
We need to do this. We need to get the Patreon content out there.
I know, I gotta find it. Shit. It's real hard to write you like actual like dialogue, though. Well, no dialogue. It doesn't want to do dialogue. It just wants to do like it just wants to do, you have to like really force it to like create dialogue for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay. Run. Bingo.
We've got dead parents, comic book logic, betrayal by a friend, product placement, government interference, fight for control of something, misogyny, sexual innuendo, unexplainable science, and an origin reveal.
Where's the origin reveal?
Or not reveal, an origin. Yeah, well, when they talk about how they found Ripley and like the Ripley being the only survivor from the original one, they go through her whole backstory for like,
Actually, what you could count origin reveal is the origin of the eggs.
That's true too.
I'm reaching there. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
They still look like vaginas.
Chuck, spawn cape. Wait. Did you say the eggs look like vaginas?
Yeah, if you look at them just like one specific way.
Chuck?
Yeah.
Shout out to your exes. What the fuck have you been fucking?
Roast beef, mainly.
I've never had a roast beef sandwich look like that. Spawn cape.
You're just not making them right.
No,
okay.
Let's go.
I had a BLT for dinner. Spawn cape. It was fine. I mean, again, practical effects looked good. There was a little bit of clunkiness here and there. There were some parts where like you could tell it was. We see it in Star Wars too, where like they're dropping in like the models over top of what would probably be a still shot of like a background or something. So like when they're bringing the ship in, and it has this like weird gloss, like green gloss. Like I don't, it's like a product of the time and stuff, where like they have the thing moving over top of the other thing, and it's probably like green screen effect or whatever. And that always, again, I think it just looks nostalgic for me. So like that's why I really enjoy it. But it does make it look like of its time. Like it's an era like look. I'm gonna say like 18 out of like 35 spawn capes. It was pretty solid. The stuff that looks good, again, the like puppets and animatronic stuff looks awesome. But when they want to do full body Xenos, it just like a guy going like with like weird hands.
Yeah.
The Xenomorph hands are weird. They have two thumbs. Kind of.
The giant hands.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like weird.
Well, it's because they're built like this. It's so they can grab you better.
Yeah, it's like all in the pink and a little in the stink. It's weird.
And none in the stink.
Well, no, it's just it comes from either side of the stink. That's how they get you. Sorry, Joey. I don't know what happened tonight.
Good.
It wasn't me.
Out of 10, Chuck, what do you give this?
All right, is this an alien movie or aliens movie? Yeah, I think so.
Aliens.
Yeah, there's a lot of aliens in it. Ripley comes back, which was good. It's a continuation of the original story, which I also appreciated too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes we don't get that in sequels. Like they don't know what to do. I feel like a lot of the time we get these parts where like sequels aren't actually sure what they're supposed to do following the original movie. And I think that this is one of those times where the sequel, I think objectively the sequel is better than the original. If you aren't trying to compare the two, because it's kind of apples and oranges, you can compare them, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
What did I give Alien?
You gave Alien an 8.4.
Okay. I like this. I'm going to say 8.47. I like it a little bit better, but I kind of just enjoyed both of them at the same kind of spot.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm kind of right there with you.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I liked it a lot better than I was expecting. Ronald?
So I also like this one. My only like real complaint with it was the fact that it was kind of long. But like it wasn't terribly long. There are good parts in it. I mean, obviously it's an 80s movie. There's some clunky shit, there's some stupid shit, there's some dialogue choices that, are annoying. But also, like Chuck said, there's some iconic ones there, and it's not a terrible movie. I think I like this one better than the original Alien. And I'm gonna give it a 7.23.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I think it's like 15 minutes too long. Like 20 minutes too long. That last like mech fight scene they really didn't need. They could have just had the thing kind of we could all just assume died the first time. The queen.
I mean, or it could have like walked towards her and then she opened the floor and sucked it out.
Yeah, like the robot. I don't know. It just looked. It was like they still had money in the budget.
But then the foreshadowing of her knowing how to use the mech suit would have went to waste.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, Joey, what do you give it?
I'm with both of you. Like I enjoy this one better than the first one. As for the length, like the time for me, it kind of went by fine. Like I didn't notice it being too super long for me. I am interested in seeing the director's cut, even though it's like I said, 17 minutes longer.
Maybe you can find something that's just the pieces from the director's cut, so you can just watch the scenes.
I'm sure I can go on YouTube and they probably have it. At the same time, my neighbor has got it on Blu-ray, so I can just borrow it from him if I really wanted to. Not that I ever will, but you never know. I did see something else. According to IMDb, the 15-minute countdown actually was 15 minutes in this one versus the 15-minute countdown in the last one, or 10-minute countdown. I would argue that it was like 14 minutes, but then that's just kind of semantics. But no, like I really enjoy this one. It's definitely I like them. You gotta roll your eyes at that, huh, Chuck? I definitely like them more than the.
It's your actually coming out of you a little bit.
And it's Emily loves that. She really does. I gave it a 7.05. I liked it, like I said, better than the last one, but not a lot. I'm right there with Chuck, where they're both just really good, and they're just kind of very even for me. But that being said, that gives us a combined score of 7.58.
That's a good score.
Which puts it in at number 17 on our list out of 110 movies. just behind Batman and Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero. And with that had a 7.67, and just above Men in Black with a 7.53.
Men in Black beat out Men in Black for the top Alien movie. Look at that.
Yeah.
That was Men in Black. There was 3 people for. It wasn't me.
Technically, Men
4.
in Black was 4 because we had the original 3 when it was just myself, Ron, and Dakota. And then when we did Men in Black 2, you retroactively gave us a score and changed it.
Yeah. Okay. But Batman, Mr. or Sub-Zero, whatever, that was
Joey and I.
I feel. Did we not have somebody on for that? Did we not have Jordan on for that?
I don't think so. I think it was just us.
That might have just been us. Yeah, that was a 2-person score.
I would say that's in my first book though, so I can't go back and look at the scores to tell you.
Yeah, it's just I'm always interested in where these land because I feel like when it's a 3-score movie, it has a little harder time scoring high because one of us inevitably nukes it. But
tends to, yeah.
If it's not me, then it's Ron. I think Ron just does it out of spite because he knows I enjoyed something. He's just like,
I would never.
Yeah, that's what you did to my heart.
Oh.
Anyway, you can find me over on all the interwebs, Kicked Out of the Hood, No Being Kicked. You can find my hobby page, Kicked Out of the Hobby, where at time of release, I would have just finished a painting competition. I'm doing a painting competition.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
congratulations on winning.
I don't. So it's within a Discord.
I said it on the podcast.
It's canon until for. You know what? If I can score top 3, that'll make me feel really good because there's a lot of really good competition like painters in this. So just some jabroni coming in and scoring in top 3 would be really cool. So I'll take that. I'll take that win.
Ronald? Also, Sub-Zero was 3. We had Jordan on for that one.
Oh,
go figure.
Not Jordan Zeilinger. Other friend Jordan.
So
my friend Jordan.
Less cool Jordan, which is saying something
about less cool.
Zeilinger is like a fucking dork. Ron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Good at This Game. And you can find my art on Instagram at Good Art This Game. And you can find me everywhere you can find this wonderful podcast.
If they wanted to go listen to the podcast that you were just on, where would they find it?
Oh, yeah. That is called What the Sex. And it's on like Spotify and all that good stuff. So,
do you know the episode number?
No.
Oh, okay. This is a month away. Just listen to all of them. It'll wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be like sometime in July of 2024.
So that's some Elite Eight Showdown scheduling right there, buddy.
I don't know how often they release shows, so it could come out tomorrow. It could have come out today for all I know. I don't know how they work it, but
it's fair. Ron doesn't listen to things. We all know that, so it's kind of unfair.
Hey, I listen to our podcast.
You hear all of this in a month.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, actually, Ron doesn't listen to it. He locks people in rooms and forces other people to listen to it. So,
hey, I'll have you know, I have brought us like 2s of listeners to this show, so you're welcome.
I tell everybody, but they're like, "Yeah, I'll listen to it," and then they walk away from me.
Yeah,
to try and get away real quick.
I had to have a conversation with partners' friends about what this podcast is about, and I was like, I'm going to be honest, I don't recommend it. You're not going to... I only said that because they are not our people.
Okay.
That's fine. They would not enjoy us screaming at each other. They're not screaming at people kind of people.
We have never screamed at each other on this.
Well, Star Wars something out. I mean, I don't know.
We always talk dignified and respectfully to each other. Joey, where can they find you?
Where could they yell at you, Joey?
Yeah. Instagram and Threads, Comic Book Rundown. Email, comicbookrundown@gmail.com. Rate and review, rate and review on your podcasting app of choice. If you do, we'll read on an upcoming episode. Our song was done by Cam, and we've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic. And if you happen to go over there today, you might see a new shirt. You might
Oh,
see,
yeah?
you might see Rogan the Hutt up there.
Well, shit. Now I have to buy another shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit.
I'm gonna buy 2 shirts now. Fuck.
Maybe 3 once Ron gets the Union Buster.
And I will say this.
Union Buster.
Of course, you could head over to patreon.com/professional casual. If you hit that 301 tier, you directly support this show. If you hit the annual level, I will personally buy you a shirt once we have the confirmation that you have purchased it. And you can pick whatever shirt you want in whatever color you want. That's the cool thing. You essentially get a shirt, and then you also support this show directly, and then maybe we would have incentive to make you some of this great content we're talking about that we never make because we don't have anybody, you know? And you might be thinking,
I feel like
why aren't you guys just making it?
Yeah.
Why aren't you guys just making the content so when I inevitably subscribe, it's there for me and I can just go listen to all the backlog? Because I know you. You're not going to do it, you fucking wieners. All right? You won't go over to patreon.com and subscribe. Yeah, you fucking gooners. Go to patreon.com/professional casual 301 tier. I fucking dare you. You won't. You think that'll work? Give us your money, you bitch. Okay, anyway. Next movie?
Yeah, so you were making fun of Jordan Zeilinger a minute ago. I laughed because
Empire Strikes Back?
We're going to Empire Strikes Back next week with him, he won't hear you bitching about him until after that recording. So
no. Okay.
When we get to Return of the Jedi, he'll maybe give you crap for that. We'll see.
We'll see.
That would involve him listening to the show.
He does listen to the show.
He does listen. Actually, he regularly messages me about it.
Does he really?
Yeah, occasionally.
Well, in that case, shout out to Jordan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wish I could burp directly into the mic right now, but I couldn't. Just for Jordan.
Please don't.
So Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back next week.
Spoilers. My favorite movie of all time. It has always been my number 1 favorite movie of all time, and it's kind of just for one scene, technically 2 scenes, I guess. But I haven't watched it in a really long time, and I definitely haven't watched it since Rogue One. So
okay.
And if I'm actually applying my newest logic of if my number 1 and my number 2 are good, like into the Hall of Fame, now they've come off my list, I am kind of worried that when I go watch it, I'm going to feel like it doesn't deserve to be in my Hall of Fame anymore.
Oh, no.
That's why we rate these movies. So
I know. I'm a little worried, man.
I mean, it's still a good movie. Arguably, it's the best Star Wars movie there is. Arguably. Yeah.
It's
not in my eyes. I like Revenge of the Sith better, and Last Jedi.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being wrong.
As long as it's not the Clone Wars, who fucking
All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. We will catch you next time.
Bye.
That was the alien.
Oh, okay.